Colony House just got invaded by a walking dead body. Kenny almost got murdered by the same monster that killed his parents. The totem plan completely failed, and Fatima may have just accidentally discovered the most powerful and most dangerous weapon in the entire town, her own blood connection to a monster. This episode was not just intense, it was the kind of episode that changes the rules of the show. Hey, what's up everyone? Come back to Breakdown Epic. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. Now, from Season 4, Episode 6 is one of those episodes where almost everything that happens matters, not just for this chapter, but for the rest of the season. Boyd's plan fails because someone betrayed it from the inside. The totem weapon theory gets tested and disproven for the smiling monsters. Colony House gets breached for the first time since the massacre, and Fatima's scream stops Smiley cold in a way that nobody, including Fatima, fully understands yet. So let's break all of it down, because there is a lot happening, and some of these details are easy to miss underneath.
All the chaos, I want to start with the totem plan, because the failure of that plan tells us something critical about how this town actually works. Boyd believed that if the settlement totems could kill the nightmare dolls, then logically they should also work on the smiling monsters. It made sense. Same town, same curse, same supernatural system. So Kenny steps up because Boyd's tremors make him a liability. He takes the totem, he stabs the creature, and nothing happens. The monster does not die. But here is the part that matters even more than the totem failing. Every single escape route was already blocked before Kenny could run. That is not random monster behavior. That is coordination. That is planning. That is a response to a strategy the monsters should not have known about in advance, unless someone told them, and we already know who. Sophia watched Boyd leave Colony House with the totem. She followed him. She gathered every piece of his plan, and then she relayed it to the creatures before Kenny even left the building. That is why this plan
failed. Not because the totems are completely useless against the smiling monsters in theory, but because the ambush was pre-designed. The monsters knew what was coming and positioned themselves to turn a potential breakthrough into a death trap. In my opinion, that is the most important thing to take from this scene. The totem might still have a role to play later, but only if the town figures out that their plans are being leaked from inside their own walls. And that realization is going to take time. Time they may not have. Now let me rewind to the bus, because what happened between Kenny and Smiley deserves its own focus. Kenny is trapped. No exit, no weapon that works, and standing right outside is the creature wearing the face of the thing that killed his father, the same category of monster that took his mother. Kenny is not just in danger here, he is standing inside his worst memory with no way out. And honestly, I thought the show was about to kill him. It genuinely felt like this was it. But then Fatima screams, and Smiley stops.
Not because he was hit, not because someone intervened physically, not because the talisman or the totem did anything, because Fatima's voice reached something inside the monster that is still human. That changes everything. Because what we just learned is that Fatima's connection to Smiley is not just emotional residue from the birth, it is functional, it is active. She can affect him. She can break through the monster lair and reach the person trapped underneath. And if that is true, then Fatima just became the most important character in the entire town. Not because she is the strongest, not because she has the most knowledge, but because she may be the only person who can actually reach the monsters without killing them. Now here's where the theory gets darker. What if the connection works both ways? If Fatima can feel what Smiley feels, and Smiley can see what Fatima sees, then suddenly this power is not just a weapon, it is a vulnerability. The monsters could
use her the same way she just used them. They could see through her eyes. They could track the townsfolk's movements. They could anticipate plans before they even begin. And that makes the golem situation even more complicated. Fatima built the golem hoping to sever the connection. Instead, it may have deepened it. And if we follow the golem of Prague mythology, the show already referenced by name, the original golem eventually became uncontrollable and had to be sealed away.
So what starts as protection could slowly become the very thing that endangers everyone. That is a classic From move. Give the characters hope through a tool they do not fully understand, then watch the tool turn into a threat. Now let's talk about Colony House, because Roger's resurrection and invasion completely shatters the idea that being inside is safe. The talisman did nothing, and that confirms something the show has been hinting at all season. The dolls and the smiling monsters are not
the same type of creature. They operate under different rules, different weaknesses, different immunities. So now we have a clear breakdown. Totems kill dolls, but not smiling monsters. Talismans stop smiling monsters, but not dolls. That matters because it means the town cannot rely on one defense system anymore. They need multiple strategies for multiple threats. And right now, they barely have one working strategy. Elgin driving the totem through Roger saves people inside Colony House, but the damage is already done. Sophia resurrected a corpse using fertilized eggs and life energy transfer, then sent it crashing through the one building everyone believed was protected. That act alone proves that Colony House is no longer safe in the way people assumed. And Sophia, standing at the top of the stairs watching it all happen, is one of the most chilling images of the season. She is not panicking, she is not running, she is enjoying, because this is exactly what the man in yellow wants. Chaos inside the walls, trust breaking, fear spreading, the town tearing itself apart from the inside while the monsters wait patiently outside.
The town meeting is where the political damage starts showing. Boyd presents the reincarnation theory. Jade and Tabitha share what they know. Some people believe them, others refuse. Henry is the loudest voice against it. Julie clashes with her own mother, and Sophia absorbs every word like someone taking notes for the enemy. That division is going to grow, because young Jade already told us how this ends. Every cycle, the town eventually turns on Jade and Tabitha. The residents blame them for the suffering, and then they kill them. That pattern has repeated across centuries, and Sophia is engineering that exact outcome right now. She already planted the idea that bad things started happening when Jade and Tabitha arrived. She is feeding plans to the monsters. She is weaponizing the dead, and she is doing it all while appearing harmless. In my opinion, Sophia is more dangerous than the smiling monsters, because the monsters attack from outside. Sophia attacks from inside the trust. Now, let me zoom into Henry because his vision deserves serious attention. He sees himself in a hospital. Victor is standing beside him. Everything
looks clean and calm and completely wrong for Fromville. My theory is that Sophia is behind this. She put the man in yellow's blood in his drink, and now she has the ability to project visions directly into his mind. If she can make Henry believe this is all just a dream, then she can use him the same way the entity once used Abby. Plant the idea that none of this is real, let that idea spread, and watch as the town loses its grip on what is true. That is exactly how the man in yellow creates massacre conditions, not through direct violence, through psychological erosion. Henry is being turned into a weapon, and nobody around him realizes it yet. Now, the teeth pouch is another detail I want to sit with, because it is honestly one of the creepiest things the show has introduced. Victor finds it inside the man in yellow's car. Inside are dozens of human teeth trophies from kills spanning possibly centuries. Sophia already took the priest's tooth earlier this season, so that pouch is basically a timeline of death. Every tooth represents a person the man in yellow infiltrated, manipulated, and destroyed across different cycles. That tells us the entity does not just kill, it collects. It keeps proof of what it has done, and that somehow makes it even more terrifying. Now, let me talk about the bigger pattern this episode reveals, because I think it matters more than any individual scene. This episode is about systems failing. Boyd's military approach to leadership fails. The totem strategy fails. Colony House's protection fails. The town meeting fails to unify.
Anyone? Henry's grip on reality is starting to fail. Every system the characters built to survive is being tested and broken one by one. And the only thing that actually worked was something nobody planned for. Fatima's emotional connection to a monster. That is the irony. The one thing that saved someone tonight was not strategy, not weapons, not planning. It was a mother's bond with the creatures she never wanted to create. And that bond may be the most important thing the show has introduced all season, but it is also the most unstable. Because if Fatima cannot learn to control that connection, or if the monsters find a way to use it against her, then the very thing that saved the town tonight could become the thing that destroys it. Now, before I finish, here's the fast breakdown of what matters most going forward. Sophia is feeding Boyd's plans to the monsters, making every future mission compromised. The totems work on dolls but not smiling monsters, meaning new weapons are needed. Fatima's connection to Smiley is real and active, but potentially dangerous in both directions. Colony House is no longer safe after the Roger invasion. Henry is being manipulated through the man in yellow's blood. The town is splitting into believers and doubters, and Sophia is engineering the same kind of internal collapse that has ended every cycle before. The monsters are not the biggest threat anymore. Fear is, and fear is already inside the walls. But anyway, that is my breakdown of From Season 4, Episode 6, and why I think this was the most important and terrifying episode of the season so far. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments, do you think Fatima's connection to Smiley will save the town, or will the monsters eventually turn that same bond into a weapon against everyone? I will catch you in the next one.